Hello everyone! Welcome back to FUTU Session. FUTU Session is an English-speaking podcast initiated by FUTS Indonesia Changemakers. FUTS Indonesia Changemakers initiates FUTU Session to help FUTS members improving their English-speaking ability. Alright, based on previous videos, of course, I am not alone. I am Novi here, and then I will be your host for today's session, and I will be accompanied by one of our guests. Of course, she is FUTS Indonesia Changemaker members. She is Kak Firda. Halo Kak Firda.
Halo Novi.
Okay, thank you so much, Kak Firda, for the time. Even though I know that you have got hectic schedule, but thank you for for being available here, Kak Firda. I'm so glad to meet you here.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity, Novi.
No, my pleasure, Kak Firda. Okay, everyone, if you are FOD members, you are very familiar with her. She is Kak Firda. And then maybe some of us still doesn't know who Kak Firda is. And also, so am I. Because fun fact, I haven't met Kak Firda like in person. So we only meet like virtually ya Kak Firda through
Yeah,
Votes
right.
Indonesia Changemakers ya. So everyone, I will give Kak Firda floor to do the introductions, who Kak Firda is, and also maybe we are very curious about, let's say, where do you work, Kak Firda, and also did you join votes, of course, and then what batch you are in, etc. Yeah. Okay, Kak Firda, so I will give you the floor and the time is yours.
Okay, Novi, thank you for the opportunity. And hello, FUTU viewers and FUTS partners. My name is Firdha Tanti, and for short, you can call me Firdha. Currently, I'm living in Purwokerto, Central Java, and I work as a finance staff in educational institution in Purwokerto. I'm joining votes since in batch 21 last year in 2022 on January. And now I got the opportunity to be the director as first chapter director with uh, with the team and the intern. I think that's all from me. Thank you, Novi.
Okay, thank you so much, Kak Firda, for a brief introduction. So, everyone, Kak Firda is now a director of first batch as a first batch director in Vote Indonesia Changemakers, yeah. And then also, Kak Firda, where do you work, Kak Firda?
In an educational institution. Actually, it's a foundation for some schools.
Mhm.
Yeah, a private school.
Okay, so Kafirda works in educational institution, and also Kafirda is a director. Yeah, so you both is a worker and also a director for Foods Indonesia Changemakers. Okay, wow, everyone, thank you, Kafirda. It's such a brief explanation and also inspiring for us. Being a worker and also handling the what is that handling Foods Indonesia Changemaker, especially as a director, it's not that easy, yeah, Kafirda. And
Right.
also, I believe that your capability, like the Foods management, trust you to be a director. It means that they have a belief, they have a faith in you. Okay, everyone, without further ado, Kak Firda, so we cannot wait to hear about your story. Whether have you ever developed yourself, and maybe we are going to hear about your experience. So I will give you the floor to Kak Firda, and then Kak Firda, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Novi, for the opportunity. So, I will share my experience to develop myself. I began to join an organization since I was in college. At that time, I also got the opportunity to become a leader in the student activity. named Fose at that time. And at that time, I learned how to lead, how to develop my team. And after that, I also begin to want. I also want to develop more myself by joining some training. And also last year, I joined for the program to develop my personal. And I also found that I have lack in English, and I decided to join FUTU since 2022. And yeah, I found that this community FUTU really amazing. I know all the people here are very supportive, and yeah, the reason why I still in this community, because I found that learning in FUTU is a safe place for us to learn. So I still in here in FUTU, and I got the opportunity to become a director for first chapter program with I also I'm not working alone. The things that I really like in FUTU is we team up, and the tagline is team up like a chess. And besides the director, we also have interns. So I like the teamwork in FUTU, so that's why I still love to work in FUTU. I think that's all about my experience to develop myself, Novi.
Okay, well done. Thank you so much for an explanation and also for the experience that was very inspiring for me. So I can say that you began to develop yourself since you were in college, yeah? And then you also was one of the leader in one of the organization. And from there, I think that you were triggered, like to you want you or you were exhausted, like not exhausted, like say you are you are thirst of any kind of activities, yes, organizations, so join again and again a lot of organizations to improve yourself. And um and then at the same time you realize yourself that you lack of English speaking, so that's why you join votes, yeah. And then from that you have no expectation maybe what votes will be like, right? Until then you find your comfort zone, right? Okay, so
Right.
I can guess that votes Indonesia Changemaker is one of the organization that makes you comfortable, so that's why you are now still here, even though it was already 1 year ago joining votes, right? But now you are a director of the first chapter, so it means that you are very keen on, or you very eager to learn to work with the team up like a chess, like you said, right? That's a one of the slogan that votes have, votes has. And then, well, from your experience, from your story, I have got interesting question, and so we will move on to the next session, which will be the question and answers. So, Kak Firda, the first question is, how do you because right now you are a director, right? And also working with a team is not really that easy for everyone, I believe. How do you manage working with a lot of people in Votes Indonesia Changemaker as a director for the first chapter especially?
Okay, thank you for the question, Novi. Yeah, I do agree that working with a lot of people we need to manage not only our time, but also our expectation to others. And the key, I think, in my opinion, the key to work with a lot of people is communication. When we can communicate our concern with our team, I think we can handle all of the challenge in the program. So for me, the key is communication to work in harmony with other people.
Okay, well then, the key is communication, yeah. The next question will be the next question leads to another one, and leads to another. This question leads to another question. So, how good is your communication in Vote Indonesia Changemakers?
Wow, that's an interesting question. Yeah, how good my communication. I think everything. I mean, you also know, right? When we begin the first chapter program, we begin with briefing with partners and also briefing with facilitator. And when we do the briefing, we also share what we have to discuss before we start the program. It goes the same with the directors and the people behind the program. We also have to communicate our activity before the program running. And if we have something that urgent or emergency, we have to communicate. So the all the people that relate to the program knows that what we have gone through. So I think the how I communicate with my team in first chapter program by share what my activity or what the concern that I have at that time in a group or in personal message like that.
Okay, well done. So, maybe I can add one thing. How good is your communications? I think your communications is very good. Yeah, especially when you are become the director, you need to communicate with a lot of facilitators, and also you need
Right.
to share your experiences during the Zoom, during the briefing Zoom. There are two Zooms, if I'm not mistaken. The first is
Yeah,
facile briefing, and the second is partners briefing. Yeah. Okay, so you are very totally good at communication, I guess. Yeah.
thank
Okay,
you.
thank you, Kafirda, for the question and answer session. It such an amazing for me and also for not for only for me for the audiences. And then there are a lot of the talks, but I think the time is not enough. So maybe I will give the floor to Kafirda for the closing. Actually, it's not the closing, but maybe last words. To give tips and trick how to uh, for other people or for the people who wants to develop themselves or for the people who wants to develop others like being a leader or for example being the director or something. Okay, so Kafirda, the time is yours.
Okay, for me, this what works for me about develop myself. I have 3 points. The first is we have to know ourselves. We have to know what we want to improve for the next in the future, or what's our target to improve. So begin with what knowing ourselves first, and then for the second is have the courage to learn and trying something new, because by learning and trying something new, we can broaden our comfort zone, because by that we can learn and improve our skill also. And for the third, we always have time to redefine ourselves. I got these quotes from Panji Pragiwaksono, if you know, he's a komika. And why? Because although we are at the same point, we still have time to redefine ourselves. We still have time to uh, make a plan for our future. I got this with foods. I mean, uh, by joining foods, I also make a plan for my future. And people in foods are very supportive and have a high vibration. So I also want to improve myself. And yeah, that's the 3 point that works from me about develop our self. Yeah, I think that's all from me.
Okay, well done. Thank you so much, Kafirda, for the last words. The first is maybe knowing yourself, yeah, Kafirda, because if we do not know ourselves, we do not know what we want to achieve, what we are going to be. And the second one is courage, the courage of what is that? um
To
Keep our
learn.
courage up. Yeah, okay, keep our courage up. So after we know ourselves, so we need to have motivation maybe, yeah, to do something that leads to our achievement. And also the third one is making the plan, because sometimes it will be easier to what is that it will be easier to achieve if we have got the plan. So let's start the plan from the small. Okay, let's start small, 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 and then it will become higher, yeah, or it will become bigger. Okay, thank you so much, Kafirda, for the time and for this photo session. And then I will close this sessions. Hopefully, we can meet in person, like face to face. Hopefully,
Yeah.
that FUTU Indonesia Changemaker will have or will held a third anniversary, and it can be a face to face activity or face to face event, so we can meet each other. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Kak Firda, for the time. Goodbye and have a nice day. Have a nice day.
Bye. Thank you, Novi.
My pleasure.